Hello and welcome to the Happy Little Futures podcast and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. Let's begin as always by taking a nice deep breath in and out. Fab. And so I'll begin. So 2024, exciting. I thought I'd quickly recap first on Christmas because I'm hoping that all of you had a lovely Christmas and we certainly had a lovely Christmas. It sounds like half term, like the Christmas holidays, was different for everyone around the country. So for us, we had the whole of the first Christmas week and then we had a week after that as well. So a week into the new year and we'd still got the kids at home, which was lovely because we got to chill for a little bit. I definitely preferred that to having the kids around excited last year for a week before Christmas. I found that quite challenging for them more than anything because they were so excited, and Mommy's obviously not quite as exciting as friends at nursery and school and all that sort of stuff. So we had a lovely Christmas, very happy kids, a lot of pyjamas and films and walks and scoots. They got new scooters. So we had a lovely time. A lot of other challenges behaviour wise with our son, who started struggling before Christmas with something he's working through at the moment. I am not 100% sure what it is, but he is definitely struggling. So we're still working with him as much as we can to get him back on track with that. I think it's just excitement, and then excitement rolling into tiredness from going back to school this week. So we'll keep working on that. But he's doing fab, and they're generally happy to be back and seeing their friends at school, which is fantastic, especially as you know that like last term I had a lot of stuff that I was working through with not homeschooling, but they're happy going back, and I'm happy for them to go back and go and enjoy being with their friends. So that's all good too. So new year, new approach on all of that front. Well, I say new approach. It's not a new approach. It's just a fresh slate, clean slate. And isn't that the wonderful thing about a new year? As much as I like to try and adjust things that I'm working on throughout the year when I need to, it is always lovely to have that feeling of a fresh slate at the start of the year, a clean slate that you can just go, right, I want to do this. When I was younger, I used to try out New Year's resolutions, and there would always be something like, I want to do this every day, or I want to do that every day. Or our daughter, bless her, I don't think that at this point she really knew about New Year's resolutions. But she, throughout the holiday, started waking up and getting dressed. This is our eldest. Getting dressed as soon as she got up. Coming down fully dressed, even when the rest of us were in pyjamas for the rest of the day. So she was doing that. And when my mother-in-law came over in the new year, she said, so has anyone got any New Year's resolutions? And our eldest sat there and listened to like me, my husband and my mother-in-law speaking. And she then piped up and went, I've got a New Year's resolution. I'm like, okay. And she said, my New Year's resolution is to get dressed as soon as I get up every morning. Which I thought was a really cute thing, because I'd noticed that she was doing this, obviously. But I hadn't realised that it was something that she was consciously making the effort to do herself. And gosh, she's determined, and she's done really, really well. She probably only got another week and a half or something, and she'll have done it for a whole month, which is better than I've ever done on a New Year's resolution, where I've tried to set something for me to do every single day. So I can tell you that now. That is where I begin. So when I was younger, as I said, I tried to set New Year's resolutions. As I got older, I was like, they all became all about weight or eating healthy or like doing X, Y, or Z every day, writing in a diary every day or something like that. And I came to understand that unless I build something gently as a habit and give myself permission to not do it every day, I wouldn't do it regularly. Because as soon as I had that day that was inevitable, normally probably around now, what we on the 11th, so normally around now, I would sit there and I would go, just haven't got it. Well, I'll do it in a bit. And then I'd forget whatever it was, or I'd want some chocolate or something like that. And next thing I'd know, I'd be like, oh, well, I didn't do it, did I? I failed. Well, I may as well just eat all the chocolate or not bother doing the diary or not do X, Y, or Z. So I'd give up. I took a new approach last year. And the new approach was sort of having a general aim for the year and then creating sort of giving myself permission to not do it if I can't do it that day, and forgive myself almost in advance for those days that I am not able to do it. And actually it's a guideline, it's not even a guideline really, it's just a general aim for the year, an overarching goal, as opposed to something where I have to do it every single day. So I don't do weight goals because I don't weigh myself, because I have a bit of a thing where I'm like, look, the numbers just to me are negative, whatever they are. I'll always want to do better. So for me, it's more about how I feel. So I don't have weight goals. And by setting specific goals, such as an amount that I want to lose or a weight that I want to be by then, sort of thing, I automatically feel like I'm putting too much pressure on myself. And I mean, a year is fine, but knowing me, I'd probably get to November and go, oh yeah, I was meant to do that, but now it's December and I'm about to drink and eat chocolate and Christmas pudding and Christmas dinner for the next month, and that's not going to happen. So what's the point? so I'd probably do that, to be honest. So I try not to give myself too big a specific goal. What I do more is I say I want to. Last year was a year of self-care. I think I wrote a blog post about it. It was a year of sort of finding the time and the space for me, sort of being more mindful of myself, of my mind, of what makes me happy, what fills my cup, what empties my cup, stuff like that. And by giving that sort of goal of, I just want to almost reconnect with myself and rediscover myself, I really did do that. And it wasn't there was a month or two where we'd got a lot going on and I didn't really do that. I didn't really have much time to specifically connect with myself. But because it was an overarching goal of how I wanted to feel, it really worked well. So I'm rolling with that again this year. This year, my goal is to be more healthy. So this comes with a variety of different things that I want to try and do. I get a lot of migraines. These generally come from problems with my muscles in my neck and stuff like that. So I'm sort of like, I want to make a mindful, a conscious, intentional effort to stretch more, to relax my neck more and my shoulders more, and sort of gently, not focusing on doing X, Y, and Z amount of exercises a day and stuff like that, but gently sort of start to loosen, that's the word, isn't it? Don't gently start to loosen those muscles around my neck and my shoulder and my jaw. So just with, like I said, gentle exercises, stretches that I used to do before fencing and stuff like that. So fencing as in with swords, not fencing as in putting fences up outside. Just to clarify, although maybe one would stretch if we were going to do that. Who knows? I haven't actually ever fitted a fence. I'm not very tall, so it would probably be very difficult for me to figure out how to lift it high enough anyway. All upper body strength is gone, really, apart from the muscles required to carry children. Anyway, I digress, as always. So one overarching goal is to sort of like try and intentionally stretch out my neck a bit more throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year, to sort of get that a little bit looser in general. I want to make healthier decisions. So a simple one that I've done, I started making get your teeth in, Lucy. I started making overnight oats just before Christmas. I reconnected with a friend from university. He was making them, and in the end I was like, oh yeah, go on, I'll start doing it again. So I started doing that. I didn't measure them out, I didn't do anything, I just had however much I thought was a healthy amount, and I would always end up so full, and it was fantastic, and I'd be full for the rest of the day until tea time. A healthier decision that I've made, I want to try and have breakfast more anyway, because I find that I get excuse me, I find that I get really quite sort of, not ratty, I find it harder to concentrate throughout the day if I haven't had breakfast. If I'm not fed first thing, I'm very conscious throughout the day of the fact that my sugar levels are dropping and I'm getting a bit more lightheaded and I'm hungry and I'm trying to do this, but I still haven't eaten and I'm that mom that still hasn't eaten. And so I'm trying to have breakfast more in general. So making these overnight oats is an easy choice. I enjoy them, which is the main thing. My husband doesn't enjoy overnight oats, so it doesn't work for everyone. But I looked up the other day what a portion size of overnight oats is. Well, of oats is, and a portion size of oats is 40 grams, or about sort of, I think it was a third of a cup or half a cup, or a quarter of a cup. I need to check that again, really, don't I? Because I measure out in cups, because we've got the little cup scoop things, and I just find it easier to do that rather than to go to the cupboard and drag out the scales and then put it down, and then so I just use the scoop. So I need to try and remember which one I need to use for tonight's overnight oats. So I looked it up and it was 40 grams anyway, and I put this 40 grams of oats into the cup, like the container that I was making it in, and oh my days, it was possibly about a quarter, a fifth of the amount that I'd been eating before Christmas in a portion. So it's little healthy adjustments like that. I'm not dieting, I'm not doing anything. In fact, I'm more consciously introducing more food into my diet with the hope that actually it will start to work in my favour over time. I won't be snacking on whatever I can find, like rotting away at the bottom of a bag. It's not that bad, guys, it's not that bad. So that intentionality of not putting too much oats in and intentionally serving the right portion and working on it like that is really important. I mean, I was literally filling a whole sort of bowl with these overnight oats. I'd then put yogurt on top and a banana before Christmas, and at the moment we don't have any yogurt in the house, so I'm not putting yogurt on, and we do have bananas today, so I had it with banana, just to try and get another piece of fruit in, which again is another one. I'm very conscious of what the kids have on the fruit and veg front. I'm always trying to sort of go, well, have the, like, you're hungry, have a banana. I'm that annoying parent. So I'm very conscious of that, but I'm very hypocritical when it comes to telling them to have some fruit and then going, I'm hungry, I don't want fruit, so I'm not going to have fruit because I'm an adult and I don't have to eat fruit. I'm just going to grab whatever I can find, a bag of crisps or something like that. So I'm trying to make more of an effort to eat healthily in that sense too, and try and get my 5 a day and make sure that I do. I cook from scratch. We both do, most days, and if it's not cooked from scratch quite often, if it's not a pizza, it's then a what is it? It's a meal that I've pre-made, a batch cooked meal. So a lot of stuff is fresh vegetables and stuff like that in there. I know that it's got veg in, but I'm literally relying on that every day for my 5 a day. And that doesn't really hold my 5 a day every day. So I do need to start eating more fruit and making more of making more healthy decisions in general. But I'm not dieting. I'm not doing all of that. It's actually a whole body thing. I've spoken before about my fibromyalgia. I'm conscious that foods can affect how different people's fibromyalgia feels and stuff like that. So over the year, I'd quite like to come to understand if there's a connection between certain foods and my pain levels and stuff like that, how fatigued I am. So it's an overarching goal. If I have a day like yesterday where where I eat some of the chocolate coins that I found in my coat that I'd taken on a walk, and grab the last cookie and have some Coke. If I have a day like that, it doesn't matter. In general, I just want to be more intentional with what I'm putting into my body, more intentional with the movements that I'm doing with my body. And I want to try and journal a little bit as well. And in the past, I've been like, oh, I want to journal, I've got to do it every day. And now I'm like, well, I don't have to do it every day. It doesn't matter if I do it every day or if I don't, because ultimately, actually, the goal is more just to write stuff down in general, more just to write down things in my head, get them out of my head. So that's what I'm working on. That's my overarching goal for the year. And I'm sure it will be fine. And if it's not, it doesn't matter. It's only a little thing that I just want to do for myself. And it is something that I want to do for myself, which is the sort of more why it's important. It's not something that I feel that I should do or that like the internet's telling me I should do. It's something that I personally have come to the decision that I want to do. So yeah, and I think that's important with so many things. You hear it time and time again with counselling and stuff like that. You need to be ready. And I feel like this year at the moment, I'm ready to sort of take on this healthier approach. And sort of maybe I'd quite like to get some sourdough going. I have no idea how to do it. I was talking to someone today about it, so I'm hoping I can get a bit more knowledge off them over time and sort of figure it out. So that's my aim. So please, I would love to hear if you've got any aims. So please drop me a message or a comment and let me know if you've got any aims for the year, or if you're doing a New Year's resolution. I'm saying, I don't do it because like it doesn't work for me. That doesn't mean it doesn't work for you having a goal. Some people, like my daughter, go, I'm going to do this every day, and they just do it every day. And that's all it takes, is that drive, that moment of, nope, this is what I'm going to do, to get it going. And I think that's fantastic. And I really take my hat off to those people, because that is such a hard thing to do. And that's why, like, the way that I teach meditation and mindfulness is in a forgiving way. If you don't do it every day, it is in a more integrated way into your life, so that it's not something that you're having to sort of make time for necessarily. It's integrated in the way that it fits with what you're already doing. It can become part of activities that you're already doing, almost like habit stacking, like I've spoken about in the past. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. On that note as well, if you're not following me on Facebook or Instagram, you will not know, unless you've been looking, that I now have a Patreon site where you can now get your 30-minute weekly reset. So last term I was doing your 30-minute weekly reset live on a Wednesday evening. I've decided to make it a bit more flexible around you, so I'm going to pre-record it every week, put it up, and then it's there for you to listen to whenever works for you in the week, rather than something that you've got to try and make time for. My plan is to get it also up and running on the website for this as well. However, I haven't quite figured out how to do that yet. so that's something I personally need to work on. So that's the plan. So have a look at Patreon. Over time, I'm hoping to add a few other little bits on there too. And I am also doing, if you haven't seen it already, again, I'm doing some January coaching. So every month I plan on doing, there will be a 10-minute meditation and a 1-hour live coaching session, which will be recorded live on the call and then sent out to everyone, so that then you've got access to it for the rest of the month, so that then you can watch it in your own time if you weren't able to make it, or if you just wanted to watch it again. So At the moment, there is an introductory offer for that. So head to the website. It's currently £37 for your 10-minute meditation that you get to keep forever, and the 1 hour live coaching, which is on the 22nd of January. So you've got until then to sign up, and then that will come off. That will come off the day that the February live coaching happens. So check that out. That's there to teach you to introduce mindfulness, meditation into your life, integrate it with your life looking after busy children, your busy life looking after children, and your life looking after busy children. So to work with that, whether you're a teacher, carer, parent, or you can join it even if you're not any of those things and you just enjoy a bit of meditation and you want to learn a bit more how you can fit it into your busy life, because it's all applicable. So yes, I have a look at that, and I'm going to love you and leave you there. So with that, we will take a nice deep breath in to our stomachs and out through your mouth. Fantastic. And I will see you next week.